Hello everyone, so welcome to our video lecture. In our earlier classes we have discussed about SN1 reaction and today we will start SN2 reaction. Now what is SN2 reaction? Substitution nucleophilic. For one SN1 I told unimolecular, so here it will be bimolecular. Okay, so let's study in detail. SN2 reaction. SN2 substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. Okay, so dear student, as the name suggests, bimolecular simply means in the rate determining step, in the slowest step of the reaction, in this substitution reaction, there will be involvement of two molecules. So it is bimolecular, means simply the reaction will be having molecularity 2. Okay, so it is nucleophilic substitution reaction. So the attacking reagent will be your nucleophile. Okay, now we have discussed about different types of nucleophiles in our earlier reactions. So when I say SN2 reaction, here the nucleophiles will be type 1 category. If you remember, generally negatively charged species are preferred. Okay. Now observe this reaction. If I say here CH3Br is our reactant or substrate, clear? This is our actually K plus and OH minus. Now this is aqueous, okay? Aqueous solution taken. So this is our nucleophile and K plus is not having any involvement in the reaction, means it is actually spectator ion. Now when I say CH3OH, it is alcohol. It is also a desired product. Now when I say KBr, it is again K plus and Br minus. So this is our leaving group. Okay. So this is what? OH minus is attacking in this reaction. So this is your attacking reagent, nucleophile. Now in this reaction, this OH minus will attack this carbon and this Br will be removed as a leaving group. Okay. So this Br departs as a leaving group. When I say the feasibility of reaction, then in OH minus and Br minus is more stable than OH minus. So it will be a good leaving group and stable nucleophile. Okay. It is a weaker base than OH minus. It is a weaker nucleophile than OH minus. So it is a stronger nucleophile, attacks. Now this reaction is called as SN2 reaction, substitution nucleophilic bimolecular. So let me explain you properly. See, in reactant as well as product, it was having K plus, which has nothing to do with the reaction. So it was a spectator ion. So I am not taking that part. Okay. Now understand here what will happen. This OH minus is a nucleophile. This carbon bromine bond is polar, delta negative and delta positive. Okay. Now what happens? This nucleophile has a tendency to attack this electrophilic center. Okay. But what happens here? When I say that this is CBr bond this side, so what will happen? This is having delta negative charge in its periphery. So this OH minus cannot attack directly from front side. Means here you can say frontal attack is not possible. Frontal attack is not possible. Okay. So attack from front side directly is not possible here. Why it is not possible? Because it is having delta negative charge. So this bond is polar although, but this OH minus will not be reachable to this carbon through this side where you are having bromine. Okay. Now if that is not possible, then we have an alternative is if OH minus attacks from this side, means from back side. OH minus comes here and attack from backside, where Br becomes away with respect to attacking part, then it is easily possible. Okay, so what will happen actually? OH minus will attack from this side. So here you can say back attack readily occurs here. Okay, clear? Now when this will attack, what will happen? You will get a transition state. This is our transition state. Okay, so dear students, when this OH minus will attack from back side, this bond will be in a stage of formation and this bond will be in a stage of breaking. So this is your bond formation part, okay, and this is your bond breaking part, right? So this is your transition state formed. Here what happens? It is a single step reaction. When the attacking reagent attacks, the leaving groups leaves instantly. Okay, there is no any case of intermediate formation, right? So what will happen? This transition state is having sp2 hybridization. Now why sp2 hybridization? Understand it carefully. See, earlier this carbon is having sp3 hybridization, tetrahedral geometry, but here this one bromine and 3 hydrogen. So you cannot say here perfected tetrahedral geometry. Okay, the bond angle between HCH and HCBr will be different, right? So what will happen? This bond is breaking, this bond is forming. So in this stage, neither you are having COH bond fully nor you are having CBr bond fully. So overall I can say you are having just 3 proper bonds, complete bonds, CH, 3 CH bonds. So the hybridization here is sp2 hybridization. Okay, see, you can observe it, tetrahedral. Now if I consider all these 2 atoms, then it is like this is your trigonal, this is that side and this is this side, bipyramidal type. Okay, trigonal bipyramidal type geometry is observed here. Now what will happen? As these, it is neither bond, it is also not bond. So it is actually trigonal planar part having 3 CH bonds and sp2 hybridization. Now finally what will happen? Finally this OH is connected. Clear? So here we can say Br was this side, OH attacks from back side, so OH is connected from back side. Okay, so simply if I have to say here, then attack occurs from back side and this is our desired product. So if I have to write here, I can say OH connects from back side and finally Br minus is obtained as a leaving group. Clear to you? See, this is a single step reaction. Okay, so only this reaction, single step, so this is only your RDS. This will be considered as slowest step because it is a single step reaction. Also, if any reaction is a single step reaction, then it is called as elementary reaction. Okay, clear to you? So from this reaction, we can have a following observations. What? First thing is, here in the reaction, 2 molecules or species are involved. One is your reactant and another is your attacking reagent. Okay, so when I consider about rate of reaction, then I can write that rate of SN2 equals to some rate constant K into concentration of substrate into concentration of nucleophile, because it is one step reaction. Elementary reaction, one step reaction. So when one step reaction is there, only the species which are involved in the reaction is considered in rate. So it is substrate as well as nucleophile and both 1 moles. So you can say power 1. So if the reaction is elementary reaction, then molecularity and order of reaction both are same. Here molecularity of the reaction, molecularity of reaction equals to 2. How? One molecule of substrate and one molecule of nucleophile is involved, so molecularity is 2. Order of reaction, see, when we say order of reaction, actually it is experimental. We cannot get the actual order of reaction, but when we say elementary reaction, then order of reaction is simply, it is the sum total of order of reaction with respect to each entities. So order of reaction with respect to substrate is 1, with respect to nucleophile is 1. So overall order of reaction, see, order of reaction with respect to substrate equals to 1, because one molecule of substrate is involved. With respect to nucleophile is 1, and if I say overall order of SN2, then it is 2. Clear? So order of reaction equals to molecularity of reaction equals to 2, because it is elementary reaction. Clear to you? Now from this part, this is one of the first characteristics. If I say rate of SN2, then you can understand, if the concentration of substrate is increased, then the rate of SN2 will increase. If the concentration of nucleophile will increase, then rate of SN2 will increase. Means rate of SN2 depends on both the concentration of substrate as well as concentration of nucleophile. Okay. Now if I say simply concentration of substrate is doubled and the rate of concentration of nucleophile is halved, then what will happen? Substrate concentration is doubled, means 2 into substrate, and concentration of nucleophile is 1/2 into nucleophile. So simply it will be same. Okay. So it depends on both concentrations. Clear? Rate of SN2 depends on concentration of substrate. If I say, it bears a direct proportionality. Next, concentration of nucleophile. As the concentration of nucleophile increases, rate of SN2 increases. Next, leaving group. As you can see, the substrate, it is substitution reaction and substrate is having some leaving group. So better the leaving group, better will be the rate of SN2 reaction. So you can say leaving group. Okay. Now when I say leaving group, I can give you one example. Suppose if I say RI, RBr, RCl, RF, then I can simply say rate of SN2 of RI will be higher than RBr, will be higher than RCl, will be higher than RF. Okay. Why? Because leaving group ability, iodine is better than bromine, better than chlorine, better than fluorine. Or in halide ions, you can say it is I minus will be a better leaving group. Why? Because I minus is more stable than F minus. Clear to you? Size factor dominates over electronegativity factor here. Okay. Next part, nature of alkyl halide. Now what does it mean, nature of alkyl halide? Okay, so dear students, understand it properly. See, now looking at this equation, this reaction, you can remember SN1 reaction. I have given this example first. Okay, so what will happen here? See, this OH minus cannot attack from this side, as I told you earlier. Why? It is having CBr bond. Nucleophile is towards this side only. Now you may think nucleophile can easily attack from this side, but remember, this carbon is tetrahedral and it is having this carbon-carbon bond, this carbon-carbon bond, this side carbon-carbon, and this side carbon-bromine. So these all 4 bonds are having bulky groups. So if this OH minus, the electron cloud of this OH minus will reach to the carbon atom, then only this bond breaking is possible. But as the surrounding groups are very bulky, so attack from either side, back side or front side, is not possible. Why? Due to steric crowding factor. Okay, so remember, this is your 3-degree alkyl halide. So in 3-degree alkyl halide, if I say, here direct attack is not possible. So what will happen? First of all, this CBr, Br minus will be leaving. Then you will get a carbocation, and then the reaction can be proceeded easily via SN1 reaction. So here you can understand it will depend on nature of alkyl halide. Means in 3-degree Rx, the rate will be least. Why? Due to steric crowding. Maximum steric crowding or steric hindrance. Okay. Next, if I say 2-degree Rx, then it is a bit lower. So 2-degree Rx will be having a bit higher rate. Then finally comes 1-degree Rx, and finally comes CH3X. Okay. Now, what does this mean, 1-degree Rx and CH3X? It may be simply CH3, CH2X. When I say, then this is primary halide only, and this carbon is not connected with any of the carbon. Okay. So simply it is methyl halide, methyl chloride or methyl bromide. Clear to you? So nature of alkyl halide will also be dependent on rate. Clear? Okay. You can note it, in 3-degree it is not at all possible. Simply you can say in 3-degree it is not possible. Solvent effect. See, in this reaction, the attacking reagent used is I'm just giving you attacking reagents generally used. Type 1 nucleophiles, negative charged nucleophiles, good, or you can say strong nucleophiles. Okay. So when good or strong nucleophiles are involved in the reaction, then you can understand if this negatively charged nucleophile will be provided with a solvent which is polar protic, then what will happen? Then that nucleophile will interact with a polar protic solvent. So the reaction between alkyl halide and the nucleophile will be hindered or disturbed. Okay. You are having nucleophile, clear? And you are having here CH3, suppose I, and here you are having polar protic solvent, let's say water. Clear? Now you know nucleophile also acts as a base. So what will happen? It will involve this side also. It will involve this side also. So the reaction will be disturbed, or you can say nucleophile will be more interactive towards polar protic solvent. So the reaction what you actually want will not take place. Okay. So the thing is, you have to take polar aprotic solvent. Okay. So the solvent used in SN2 reaction is polar aprotic solvent. Solvent used in SN2 reaction is polar aprotic solvent. Clear? Now in polar aprotic solvent as well, most of the times you will come across a special solvent which is acetone. CH3CO CH3. Why acetone? In acetone, you remember this part, carbon having delta positive charge, is actually what? Is actually this delta negative and delta positive. Okay. So this delta positive part is actually hidden or blocked in between these two methyls, but it is open, delta negative part. Okay. So there is least possibility of interaction of this nucleophile with this delta positive, and also this nucleophile cannot interact at all with this delta negative part. So the reaction of nucleophile under polar aprotic solvent will favor towards this side only. Okay. Clear to you? So solvent used in SN2 will be polar aprotic solvent. Okay. Stereochemistry in SN2 reaction. Now this is one of the most important part in every reactions, in every organic reactions. What will be the configuration of the product formed, or whether it is optically active or inactive? What will be the product formed with respect to reactant, whether it is retention or inversion? So understand in SN2 reaction what will happen. Okay, I am giving you one example. See, in earlier example I generally used optically inactive compound, so there was no talk about stereochemistry. Now what will happen? Suppose you are having see, this is your optically active compound. Okay, carbon is having hydrogen, deuterium, tritium and bromine. Clear? Now this is having one chiral center, optically active compound. Okay, now it is having one chiral center and it is an optically active compound. As you know, OH minus cannot attack from front side, right? But definitely it will attack from back side. Okay, now you can see, observe this compound first of all. See, this is in wedge form, means if I say that this hydrogen and bromine along with this carbon is in the plane of this board, means this carbon, bromine is here only, as you can see, and hydrogen is here only, means these three atoms are in the plane itself. Now this tritium is towards the observer. Okay, towards the observer, right? I can say above the plane. Now this one, this is backside of the board, away from the observer, means I can say below the plane. Now what will happen? When this OH minus will come for attacking, it will not attack from the same side, as you know, because it is also negatively charged, and negative charge it will have repulsion, so attack will occur from backside. In such a condition, the transition state will form this carbon, hydrogen here, deuterium here, tritium here, OH here and Br here. Okay, now this OH minus is having complete negative charge, this Br minus is having partial negative charge. Okay, this is our transition state, right? Now after this transition state, when the product formed, it will cause inversion as attack occurs from backside. Okay, it is not a frontal attack. So finally you can see the product formed will be, hydrogen will be as it is. Okay, now OH will come in the plane only, but in backside, and this will be tritium T. You can observe very carefully, tritium was this side, now it is this side only. Deuterium was that side, now it is also that side. Here also tritium towards you, here also tritium towards you. Here deuterium is away from you, here also deuterium away from you. Now when I say this hydrogen is upside, carbon is here, it is as it is. Now when I say bromine, earlier bromine was like this side. Now attack occur from this side, so bromine leaves from this side. So OH is here, you can observe here. Okay, so it is in the plane of board, in the plane of this part, screen, and OH is in the plane of screen but backside. So this is your inversion product. Okay, so dear students, in SN2 reaction there will be inversion product, right? There will be no retention of product. you can note here inversion occurs in SN2 across chiral center undergoing reaction. Okay, so inversion occurs in SN2 across chiral center undergoing reaction. Why I mentioned specifically this point? I'll give you one example. See, the point from where you are making inversion, from that point only, from where the reaction is occurring, from that point only you have to make the inversion. Okay, do not disturb any other point. Okay, understand from example. OH minus. Now in SN2 reactions, remember generally the reagents involved are nucleophiles negatively charged. Okay, so what will happen here? You can see this is your leaving group, this is a chiral center, here this is also a chiral center. Okay, so do not disturb this chiral center. This part will be as it is. Now reaction will occur here only. So the product generated will be CH3HD as it is. Now keep this methyl downside only. So what will happen? The attack will be from this side, hydrogen. No, this is now OH and this will be H. Okay, so Cl was here, OH attach here. Understand? Now this carbon is your having one carbon this side, one carbon this side. So it is 2 degree Rx. So as you know, in 2 degree alkyl halide, SN2 can occur very easily. Okay, so remember, inversion occurred but not in the compound. Inversion occurred at the carbon which is undergoing SN2 reaction. That's why I mentioned the earlier point. Okay, inversion occurs at carbon atom at chiral carbon atom which is undergoing SN2. Do not disturb configuration of any other part. Okay, so remember this point strictly. Do not disturb any other part or any other configuration. Clear? Okay, so students, in this question you have to find out the product. Okay, see, this is not SH, this is not alcohol, this is thioalcohol. Thioalcohol, okay, thioalcohol. Okay, now when SH will attack, it is actually K plus and SH minus. So this iodine will be liberated and SH minus will join. So you will get thioalcohol in product. Now this is your trans form. You can see this is hydrogen deuterium, this is high priority and this part is higher priority, lower priority hydrogen here and here. So it is your trans and this is your chiral center. Now as I told you, do not disturb the configuration at other part. So if it is cis, it will be cis. If it is trans, it will be trans. Disturb configuration across this part only. So you will get ET as it is, attach SH here, hydrogen this side, and this carbon will be having every part as it is. Okay, clear to you? So you can understand this part. So here when we say inversion, so inversion across this chiral center is occurring. Okay, Now understand the next part of SN2, energy profile diagram. So dear students, here I am just using one specific reaction, okay, data based reaction. When I say CH3Cl reacts with OH minus, product formed will be CH3OH plus Cl minus, okay. See here CCl bond breaks, CO bond formed, okay. Now when I say bond energy of CCl, energy is required to break the bond CCl, but energy will be released when CO bond will be formed. Now this CO bond is stronger than CCl bond, so definitely I can say that this reaction is your exothermic, delta H less than 0, exothermic reaction. Now according to my data, the enthalpy change of this reaction is approximately minus 100 kilojoule per mole, okay, means 100 kilojoule per mole in this reaction energy is released, okay. So if I have to draw the graph of this reaction, energy profile diagram for this reaction, then this side is your energy, this side is your reaction coordinates. Now suppose you are having reactant here and you will form product here, then you can see it is your reactant, it is your product, and it is your exothermic reaction. Energy of reactant and energy of product, you can see energy possessed by product is lower than energy possessed by reactant. So this energy change is your delta H, okay. Now in this reaction if I say, then this is your ET, total energy which must be needed in the reaction to proceed. This is your activation energy of forward direction, okay, and this is your activation energy of backward direction. Now you can see from this graph as well, suppose from this given graph if I ask whether the reaction is SN1 reaction or SN2 reaction, you can simply say this is a one-step reaction because from reactant you are directly getting product. So this is your transition state and only one transition state. So from graph also I can say one transition state, no reaction, intermediate, one step reaction, okay. One step, one transition state, no reaction, intermediate. From this graph I can say delta H, as I told you earlier, EP minus ER. Now you can see EP is lower, so this value will be negative. Also you can say EF minus EAB. This I have taught you in earlier lectures of reaction mechanism. Remember, energy profile diagram, discussed you thoroughly. For this reaction I have drawn this graph, okay. This is exothermic, and for this you can see EP minus ER negative, EF is a smaller value, EAB is larger value, so this will be negative. So here it is proved. Clear to you? This is your energy profile diagram, and generally you will get SN2 reactions exothermic only, okay. So graph will be like this. Clear to you? Okay, so dear students, here I am giving one reaction, and in this reaction you have to find out the products. Now here I am using those reactants, attacking reagents which are commonly used in SN2 reactions, okay. Now you have to form the products. See, this is 1 degree, SN2 will be favorable, no less steric hindrance, 2 hydrogens, in between 2 hydrogens attack can be possible. So this will form pH CH2OH. See, here I am not talking about any inversion or retention. Why? Because it is not it is optically inactive, okay. So there is no talk of optical activity here also. It is alcohol. So you will come across reactions of alcohol, SN2 reactions, okay. preparation of alcohol, SN2 is favorable. Reactions of alkyl halide, SN2. Okay, now in this pH CH2SH, preparation of thioalcohol, it will form pH CH2S pH. This is again thioalcohol. Next pH CH2 CN. Okay, now this is your cyanide. Cyanides are generally poisonous in nature, so in preparation of cyanide as well, SN2. Now here you will find pH CH2OMe. So this is simply preparation of ether. You can see from SN2 reaction, by making one nucleophile attack in alkyl halide, you are forming ether. Now this one pH CH2OET, this is again ether. Okay, so in preparation of ether as well, SN2 reaction is involved. Clear to you? So these are the general reagents which I am telling you. These are generally used in SN2 reaction. Okay, reagents commonly or generally used in SN2 are all these. Okay, all these. Understood? Now, as I told you, generally the reaction will be exothermic. Then again, one more thing I am telling you. Here in SN2 reactions, low temperature or room temperature is favorable for SN2. Now, why I am telling this thing? Understand it very well. See, when this 1, 2, 3, 4, when this 2-bromo-butane was reacted via ETO minus reagent, then simply inversion, this is a chiral center, this is optically active compound, okay, C2, one chiral center. Then inversion occurred and what you found was OET, okay, substitution. SN2 occurs, but when at high temperature this E2O minus was attacking, then it was observed that the product obtained was actually 2-butene, means elimination reaction is observed. Okay, so when same reagent used at high temperature, then elimination product was major. Then it was observed that when high temperature is given for same attacking reagents, then elimination reaction may take place. Okay, so remember this thing. All these reagents which are used, use at room temperature simply, or low temperature mentioned, okay, because the same reagents, if I say MEO minus delta, ETO minus delta, then what will happen? Major form will be elimination form and not substitution. Okay, so that's why normal SN2, it is simply room temperature. Clear? Okay. In these two cases, you have to find the product of SN2 reaction. Okay, in reaction you have been given KOH aqueous. Here you have given KOH aqueous. Okay, so find out the product in these two cases. See, this is a chiral center. Why? Because it is having bromine in wedge. So simply you will be having hydrogen in dash part. This side is your alkene part in pi bond, here it is single bond, so it is a chiral center. Definitely, as I told you, inversion product will be formed. So I can say here the product will be dash part will carry OH and wedge part will carry hydrogen. Okay, means earlier bromine was towards you. If I consider this ring as rigid, then bromine was towards you. Now attack will be from back side, so OH will be joined in back side. Okay, so it is inversion product. Understood? Now see this one. See, this is having methyl here in wedge position. So if I say simply this one methyl and dash position having hydrogen, here you are having wedge hydrogen. So what will happen? See, this is having this part. You cannot disturb this part. Okay. CH3 in wedge only as it was earlier. Hydrogen in dash only. But in product, OH will be on wedge and hydrogen will be on dash. Okay. Simply here if I say with respect to this hydrogen and hydrogen, it was trans. Okay. Here it is cis product. Clear? Means it is hydrogen, hydrogen, same side. Simply if I say. Okay. So here also dash bromine, wedge hydrogen, SN2 occurs, inversion occurs. Clear? Okay, now in these two questions you have to compare the rate of SN2, which will be having higher rate. Okay, see, in this it is 1 degree having chlorine leaving group, it is again 1 degree same having bromine leaving group, it is having iodine as leaving group, primary. So simply you can compare with respect to leaving group ability. Iodine will be better leaving group than bromine than chlorine. Okay, now compare here. PHCH2, CH2, Cl. Here leaving group is same. This leaving group is attached with 1 degree. It is here 2 degree. It is here. This carbon is having 2 methyl and 1 CH2. So it is here 3 degree. I can simply say this will not undergo SN2 reaction. So I can compare 1 degree greater than 2 degree greater than 3 degree. Okay, rate of SN2. Clear? Special cases. So students, in these 4 cases, you have to check whether these will undergo SN2 or not. As I told you earlier, special cases you can understand they will not undergo SN2. So think yourself, what is the reason behind these compounds not undergoing SN2? One by one. See, this is halogen which is having resonance, and due to resonance it is having pi bond character. So it is having conjugation. So here the nucleophile cannot attack this carbon, because it is having one halogen with conjugation, so it is having pi bond character here. Okay, so there is no attack due to this resonance conjugated system. Okay, so SN2 will not occur. No SN2 here. Okay, now check this one. See, this is a bridgehead carbon atom. Okay, now this is also 3 degree carbon atom. As it is 3 degree, SN2 will not take place because it is highly hindered. Okay, now check this one. See, this is your vinyl halide. It is again in conjugation. So SN2 will not take place. Clear? In vinyl halide SN2 will not occur. Why? It is in conjugation, there is resonance. So this carbon is having pi bond character this side. Now in CH3F, as you remember in CH3F, what is the reason? Fluorine is most electronegative element. Okay. Poor leaving group. This is the reason this bond will not break. It is having 2p overlapping. 2p strong overlapping. So these are the reasons why this compound will not undergo SN2. Okay, so note down all these cases. Find products in the given reactions. Okay, first. Okay, so in these two reactions you have to find out the product. In first one you can see this iodine is actually your haloarine part. It is in conjugation. So this will not undergo SN2 reaction. This KOH cannot attack this iodine, right? So this part will not undergo. But yes, this is primary alkyl halide, you can see. So the product formed will be OH. Okay, see this is not chiral, so there is no case of talking about inversion or retention here, right? Now even if I say that if KOH is in excess, then also you cannot say that this iodine will be reacted. Okay, if it is KOH is 1 equivalent or excess, in both the cases this will be the only product possible here. Okay, this one, see this ring is not aromatic but it is having conjugation with this pi bond. So that's why this bromine will not undergo SN2 reaction with KOH, but this chlorine will easily leave. So what you will get? This part as it is bromine and this part will get OH. Okay, now one more thing, see here this is a chiral center. I won't mention you whether this chlorine is in wedge or dash. So in product also I won't mention whether it will be in wedge or dash, but remember one thing, if this chlorine is in wedge, this will be in dash. If this is in dash, this will be in wedge. Okay, in both the questions one more observation is, see in bromine and iodine, iodine is a good leaving group but it is in conjugation, so not leaving, it is not a leaving group here. Clear? Here also bromine and chlorine, bromine is better leaving group but still it is not undergoing SN2 reaction. Why? It is in conjugation. Clear to you? One more point I can say, if this is having, this chiral center is having configuration R, then I cannot say this will be having configuration S, because this is a very different compound and this is a very different compound. Okay, so do not say if the reactant is R, after SN2 it will become S, or if it is S it will become R. No, you cannot comment on that. Reaction will make inversion product, but about configuration you cannot comment about absolute configuration, whether the reactant was R or S, then the product will be S or R. Okay, remember this thing. So dear students, here we discussed about SN2 reactions and all of its characteristics. So we'll continue in our next lecture.